in the book, I feel like the culture was predestined for them or predetermined, and like we were like, oh well, that's bad. But if we really look at our world, our culture's pretty predetermined for us too. Like how you're born, where you're born, what time period, whatever, that determines how you're gonna act, what you're gonna dress like, how it's all gonna be played out. Yeah, we have our own free will to choose, but in the same way as in the book, it's pretty predetermined for ourselves.
Well, in the book, I feel like they felt like they kind of had like their own free will. Like, I could take these drugs, or I could not take these drugs, but I like the way these drugs make me feel, and I get to go have sex with everyone, so why would I not take these drugs and screw everyone, because why not? And, but, like now, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, they have free will there too, but they just pick what they like, you know, what makes it easier, I guess.
I think the alphas had more free will than anybody else. Everybody else was kind of forced to do the things they were doing.
But they didn't even notice it, because that was just the way things, like, nobody had
They
to
didn't
broken
have
the
free will
mold.
because
Like,
they didn't notice it. They were trained, they were raised, they were
but they
born
like
to
tricked
be that
themselves
person.
to thinking that there was free will. Like, they were like, oh. Like, the government was like, in there.
Right, the government wants them to think that they're making their own choices,
Yeah.
but they're really not. And I feel like that's probably the same way our world is today.
I was gonna ask the same question.
Like the government wants us to think that whatever we can choose whatever we want to, but with all the media they influence us with and everything, they're basically narrowing our choices way down to a couple of things.
I think they kind of have more of a perception of truth than actual truth. Because, say, in our society today, I guess we have the truth, but in Brave New World, it was just something, it was more of an idea it could have been. But it was, to them it was, but to someone that knows that it wasn't, it becomes more about an idea than actual.
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
I mean, John knew better. And he came in and realized what was going on, but he couldn't explain it to them because they didn't understand.
Well, I mean, and I'm sure that people had the same thoughts as he did, but, I mean,
They did. They
But-
tried to rebel too and get their drugs, and then they came in and just sprayed them all.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm sure, like, other people got, like, the time period of whenever that started. I know there was, like, a Ford or something, like, it was AF or something like that. But I feel like once they have those thoughts, they're like, oh, that's weird. Why would I want to think that? Because no one else thinks that. And that's how they get freaking and outcast. So how about I just, you know.
Like the fact that we're thrown into the book like after this has already been determined, like been going on for 20 years is key because to get to that point they had to like knock down some rebellions and stuff because when it was transitioning from the world we live in to the new world, there had to be a lot more rebellion, but now 100, 200 years later it's easily set in stone what's going to happen each and every day. So there's not as many rebellions.
I kind of feel like there's always going to be rebellions because I relate this book to the movie the Island, I think is what it's called, where everything's just predetermined, and in the movie you just find that one guy who actually figures out what's really going on and he wants to escape. So I feel like there's always going to be some type of rebellion or somebody that figures out what's going on and wants to change something.
But it's easy to put down one person or like a small group of people. But
Especially when you don't know anything about it. Like in the book, John knew what it was like and like what was really going on, but trying to convince people of something that they don't believe in or they've never seen or haven't